I'm doing this video because I needed to do this video. You know, I wanted to show you some of my pictures over the years to show you who I am compared to who I am now. I told you in the Stalkers Will Be Exposed video about the college boyfriend and how we had a cordial relationship. This is how I looked when I was a senior in college. This is my from May 1995. And looking back on that woman, that young woman, I can see how these people really thought they were going to continue to take advantage of me, use my likeness, use my life. But I have to defend myself. This is the college boyfriend's letter to me in 1996, where we're not together anymore, but he saw a scarf and he wanted to get it for me, and he gave it to me. I got back from Saudi Arabia that year and I gave him something from there. Then again in 1996, he said that he couldn't picture his life without, let me see, I'm going to find the exact line. Guys, this is the exact line for what he was talking about. That imagining sitting on the front porch, imagining us having kids together. Okay, can you guys see that? So I wanted you guys to see that. We still kept in touch in 1997. Again, he told me that he would like to call me, and I should call him so we can debate and just talk things over. When he got married, I was so happy for him that I sent him and his wife a vase as a wedding present, and I addressed correspondence to both of them. I was happy that he found someone in his life. When I told you about the other stalker person, again, I now see that maybe in the Bronx and New York, this is a group of people. And as I'm putting it together, I see that I was not the person they should have been with. Had they told me they had this group of people, I would have just told them I'm not interested. So just to go over this, I'll go over this and then we'll talk in depth. Because the last part of this is that if you haven't seen the video I just posted, that my life is in jeopardy and so is my mother's. So this is how, to me, how I'm a sweet person. I'm a good person. And I should stay sweet. They later said that was sarcastic. So is this sarcasm where, again, appreciating me for everything, and underlining this, many thanks wholeheartedly. That's to me and my mom. Here's another one for me and my mom. Here it is. Thank you for the graduation present. Glad we're friends. This was the graduation that this is thanking me for. So this card corresponds to this graduation. So let me go now. I'm going to tell you guys more. At the same time, these people are now saying I did so many awful things, say in 1994, in the 80s, and even now. I had a nun who I worked for, who I had such a great relationship with, who said only positive things about me. I've had so many other people say positive things about me. So at the same time, look at the dates. They're now saying back then I did awful things. So I'm showing you guys dates on this. How is it possible that at the same time they're thanking me and telling me to stay sweet? Let me show you the card date. So in the same years, I don't know if you guys can see this, that they're saying how wonderful I am. They're accusing me now of doing some of the worst things ever. I went through my photo album and I'm just going to show you some of the photos quickly. This young person is 21 years old and the boyfriend was much older. He could be close to 30. And I never in a million years expected him to turn out to be part of this stalking group. I'm trying to make sure I focus the camera because the last time I had the camera on only a side of my face. I am too sick at this stage of my life for people to come in and lie and try to harass my mother for money or me for money. I really think that they kind of feel that I may be on my deathbed. I'm not. Okay, guys? But I need you folks to spread the word about these people. They came out of nowhere. I severed my relationships with these people about 10 years ago, not because something happened major, but an accumulation of always contacting me, always needing something. At the same time when I was being contacted with them, they had this event or that event. At the time, I was able to send a gift. I was able to attend. Now, once I could not anymore, that's when they got nasty. And what I'm telling you folks is that if these people have been corresponding me for decades and never had a problem, how is it possible at this date and time that I'm such an awful person? Why would you want to be with me? Why would you want to correspond with me? These are cards, folks. These aren't just phone calls or text messages or emails. Someone went to a store and bought a card. Someone spent time and wrote a long letter. That's someone who obviously would do it for someone who isn't a bad person. So to now, at this time in my life, when I should be focusing on my health, I should be focusing on what's going on in my life, for them to now come up with this nonsense out of nowhere. I'm explaining to you how I think this worked. I believe there are gangs and people are paying these people. And I think these two are sort of the people who kind of got me involved with this by lying. Because I think if people knew that I'm a boring crafter who hasn't been, I'm in no way would anyone classify my dating experience as exciting. I used to do videos about, body language and dating because I had different guys who liked me. These people said, no man ever liked me. I know now it's hard to believe, but I think if you look at some of the old pictures, you might kind of get an idea that maybe some guys did like me. And I didn't have a lot of bad experience until these gangs got into my life. And this is now the peak of it. I told you about the marks on my head. They hit me right here on my head. And then behind my ears, I feel hot. I'm going to show you the spot on the wall. I'm in the room where they installed something. And it causes me to hear things louder than they are. I started looking it up, and I think it's called microwave auditory effect. And it started when I was at a job in 2016 and 2017. And I heard it sounds like whispering. And now I know that's whisper lasers. So somehow all of this is tied together. And they thought no one would believe me. What they didn't realize is that I've been saving all this stuff for this moment. And guys, I need you to tell people this is happening. I think it's happening especially because I'm Black, and they thought no one would believe a 48-year-old Black woman against people who are not Black. Okay? So between the gang stalking, which found a book and accused me of lying on a group of white men for gang rape, that didn't happen in my life. That did not happen. But you can see how this just got all out of control. A group of crazy people teamed up with people with money who started investigating and found all these things. And so then once they found these things, they spread the rumors. Then they decided to knock on my walls, knock on the apartments above. And I want to know who paid their rent if they're gang members. They said, according to them, they said that River Bay lets them live here for free in exchange for doing work in the buildings. They also said that this was the reason they keep talking to me and talking to me and talking to me is because it sounds like there's some sort of mind control. They're brainwashing me. They're compulsing me to do things.
Well, I need to know, folks, if you were contacted by these people, if you were in some way contacted by these people, please notify the police and call the FBI. Let them know that this is a criminal organization. I did not give my consent for any of this. They mentioned people who went to my high school, and I fear for their safety. They mentioned people who I am related to, and I fear for their safety. So if you are in some way contacted by someone claiming to be Shamega Johnson, call the police. You are being victimized. It's like the scams that they show you on TV where they claim something's going on. Do not donate to a GoFundMe. Do not give money for me. Do not involve yourself in any imaginary lawsuits. That's another scam they came up with, that I should have a lawsuit. When I'm battling for my health, it's not the time for a lawsuit. Will I eventually look into that? Of course. But right now, I'm struggling to feel safe and to feel healthy and go on with my life. The last thing that I'm going to tell you folks is that I will continue every single day to out every last person involved in this. If you want to see a closer look at those cards, I have more cards from them. Trust me, these people were sending me cards and letters nonstop. I now see that was part of the scam, to keep dragging me in, keep sucking me in. I thought once someone moves on, they move on. But not with these folks. You're not allowed to move on with your life. You have to constantly, they said, stay connected. Connected? Why would I have to constantly stay connected to anyone? Okay? So they keep trying to make a game out of it. This isn't a game. I will constantly report on this. I will constantly tell you folks about this group of people. The majority of these people are not Black people, because Black people, I'm going to speak on behalf of Black folks, we know when to move on. Okay? If I don't call you and you don't call me, that's the sign, move on. These people think because I'm Black and they think I'm not good enough, they think I'm lying, they've accused me of the worst crimes ever. So I'm letting you know, if you ever get contacted by these people on my behalf, call the police. You're being scammed.